Hello and welcome to Performance Interaction. Performance Interaction is a project to promote performance art and performance artists. My first guest on Performance Interaction, Three Works, is Fausto Grossi. Fausto, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much to invite me and to give me this opportunity to talk about my work to people.
And thank you for being here, Fausto. So the first work that you've chosen to talk about is The West is the Best, and you performed this at an event called Burnt Snow 7, and this was in 2020. This was very, very powerful imagery. Could you talk about this performance?
Yes, well, for example, this performance, I went there with the idea to do this performance, and I bring with me material, if we can say material, like my clothes, white and red. I had a scarf, no scarf, I always call this the
tie.
Blue with white stars. And in my head, I had a hat, typical hat from Inner Mongolia and Russia, and well, where it's cold. And the jar, the black one, and the idea to put blood on it. And the one green jacket, big one, is a typical, or it was typical military jacket. Is very keep the body very warm because we're 20 degrees under zero, you know. And so I integrate this. Then I don't know where to do. Where it was the place was a yurta, you know, in this fantastic place. And well, I went out the burta, the yurka, and I take off the jacket and you know, I take the jar, and I asked to a friend Bazan. He organized the festival in Thailand, Rebel, where we performed with Jolanda, and he started to pull the blood on my hand, and I just do like I am washing, you know, very, very slowly, carefully, very, you know, my hand with blood. And, you know, it was an allusion of Poncio Pilato, no? When, who you want free, Barabbas or Jesus? And he washed his hand. He don't want anything to know about this, you know. And, I have a very close relation with music. Music is part of my life. And so I don't know if somebody remember Jim Morrison, I think, in a song, used to say this: the West is the best, and blah 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 blah. You know, of course, in between the end of 2019 and the 2020, but I didn't know now about this when I was in Inner Mongolia. But the COVID, the virus, the pandemic. But something they know because was a moment that maybe I thought maybe I can't go. Maybe they can sell flight. No, nothing of this happened. But you know, China is una dittatura. Dictator. I mean, there, for example, in a previous performance, the night of the 31 of January, we were in a party, you know, and many people, and they were like doing something, like to make, I don't know what, was very strange. But what they do, these people? And then in a big screen, all propaganda about China. Look how it's good. Look how we did very well. So I could stop. And I went up there, the stage, and there were something where you could walk, and I stay there, and with this military jacket with the hat, and staying there, and I did like this, and then we discover there were a party with very important people all around, tables full of this family. I don't know. So everybody, we were there, to enjoy these people. Miss. And well, in the other end, the West is the best. This is what generally we hear to say, and people from the West think about the West. Not me, of course, because I am a human being. I am not West, not. I was born in Italy. Okay, I could be born somewhere else, and okay, I live in Spain. And so I look at the situation now, it's very strong. It's like mafia. I am stronger than you, and also if you have reason, you don't have reason. I have reason because I am stronger than you. I have power. So the West is the best, no? So many things happen around the world, and the West will say, we are the best. We are the best. We are who do the things in the right way, and we go and we put democracy everywhere. Also, if we make a war to make a country or a region democratic, and then what's happened is now up to the West. That's why, because we know what is going on, but we wash our hand like if we don't have nothing to do with all things happen around the world. Well, maybe it's too much. I don't know. Take part, no, to say I am here, I am not there, but we are a human being, and we have our thoughts. We think. We I don't know how to say, and that's why the West is the best.
So, Fausto, that sounds like a really powerful performance. What kind of blood were you using within the jar?
The blood was sheep, and is curious because have something to do with what I did. With the West is the best, and I had a bit of this. Come si chiama? Sheep blood because a Chinese artist, he had a lot of this. He wrote something on the snow with this blood, but very big, 100 meters, very big. So the blood was there and everywhere. And maybe I push too strong, no? Red and white, blue and white star, with the reference very clear. But I think this is the situation.
The colors in the sky, I noticed how amazing the sky looked, so blue in the documentation that you gave me, and the colors of the yurt together, everything seemed really, really beautiful in that light.
Yes, it was. And very strange for me because in some place where everything white, snow, and the snow was not like here, no, soft, was like all very small balls who with the wind, they start to run. In the skies was sunny, very strange, in Mongolia. Very nice.
Yeah. And maybe could you talk about the reaction of the people there? Were there members of the public that were able to attend the event, or was it very remote?
Well, first of all, I have to say that the public were all the participants of the event. We were all the performers. And the reaction was, just atonic like this, and somebody come to hold me, and it was very strong for me, and I think also for the people, for the present. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. Thank you, Fausto. Yeah. So at Rebel Live Action, the Eco Art event that was held in Bangkok in Thailand, you performed in 2019 with Jolanda Jansen. And could you maybe talk a little bit about how the duo performance came about?
With Jolanda, we met in Performanciar o Morir, organized by Gustavo Alvarez in Mexico. And there I did a performance with Papaya, and I have no photo, no video. People took photo, people took video, but I have anything, nothing. Anyway, so Jolanda, when we met again in Thailand, because Bazan, who organized with his wife, Sai, the Rebel Festival, he invited us. And Jolanda said, Fausto, I would like to perform together with Papaya. And okay, I went to the market and buy 2 big papaya. And then we start to talk about what we want to do and how. And then we went to the place. Was not exactly in Bangkok, was outside, big park, with attraction. And we had to walk and looking for the place very long time because it was not easy. This for one reason, the other for another. Where we perform, and then in the end we find this place very magical because there were graffiti on the wall, and I think to remember some sculpture with I don't know how to say it. the world, the beard of the world, the Venus, and was magical. And we decided to work there, and was very strong because we started from a place where an airplane there, and we walk to this place where we perform, and people follow us. The people follow us, and when we start, well, I was very emotional because it was the first time. I think it was the first time I make performance with another performer, and also the situation, this papaya, the body, the vibration, this mix between animal, physical, spiritual, all mixed, all together, was very, very strong for me, and I think also for Jolanda. We get many photos, good documentation, also video, but I don't really like video of performance. I prefer photos.
From the documentation that I viewed, it was a very intimate, special performance. Maybe could you talk about some of those moments?
It's not easy, also because it's a long time ago. Well, in 19. So
2019.
The emotion was very, very strong. I mean, because we just decide some steps, how to do, how to start, and but one thing is to do this, to think how to do it, and another thing is do it, especially in a performance like we did. Was I don't know how to say, something about gender where everyone, I think, we think, because I think Jolanda, she thinks the same. We are female and male at the same time. Everyone. And sometimes this situation, this way to be, go out, and another time don't, for many reasons. I mean, social, and I don't know, ethical, and in this performance, for some papaya, because papaya has a form very particular, very special, and is organic, is and it's so difficult. And in this performance, I mean, the animal part of a human being go out, and you can see sometimes can be like violent and then turn in the opposite, where the body they meet, and looking for the other, and many steps, many stage in this performance, and but then sometimes we are totally the opposite, and then we join together, like if we are one, we are two, of course. It's Jolanda, she's a female. It's me, I am male. But I think this in some way doesn't matter, or is the reason because things happen. And I don't know to explain, because it's something very visceral, something very inside of each person. And when we finished, we was exhausted, of course, because it was very powerful, everything, physical and psychologically. But we were happy. We clean, we wash, we help each other.
Great, thank you, Fausto. So the work that you've chosen to talk about, and excuse my pronunciation if this is wrong, is called Retrato de Familia. And this work you performed in Spazio Grossi. Would you like to talk a little bit about that work?
Oh, yes. I did this work because in Spazio Grossi and Retrato di Familia, family portraits, because in this time I start to work with titanium anodization with sound.
Como en realidad debería de romper.
Luego nos digo con el ordenador. Have sound when I go with the brush on the sheet of the titanium, a little circuit make the electricity become sound. And so it was the first time I did this. And in Spazio Grossi, because Spazio Grossi is part of the family place. A shop, pasta and Italian products, a place where art and culture join, is a food for soul and for body. Spazio Grossi in Pasta e Pizza Grossi. Our project.
And that work really draws on the importance of family to you and building a community, as you say, around your space there, which is a very multi-purpose space, a space where you allow other artists to exhibit work also. And it is a very communal feel to the events that I have attended when I was over with you. There was a really good feeling around the space. And that work, the sound was amazing that you made within that work that I was able to hear within the video, almost like as if you were picking up a signal from space. You were also within that work transforming the process of creating a type of work that would normally happen within a studio space, and you were transforming that into a performative action. Could you maybe talk about where the idea came from around that work?
Well, first of all, I want to say that Spazio Grossi was in the beginning and for friends, not for me, for friends. And I think this Retrato di Familia was the first time I did something myself there. And I did this just in the public space, I mean, on the street, in the entrance of the shop, because the public space is like, for me, like agora, a place where people meet and talk, and the reason was exactly this, because apart people who I invited to be present in this for me, big event. It was the first time I make an anodization with the sound. But also people from the street who walk could see, and I think it's important. And in fact, for example, I prefer to perform in a public space without permission, without ask permission. You know, I assume if there is some problem, I am not there to make problem. I mean, I'm there to say with people. If I can still doing, I stop. But public space for me, first of all.
Right, Fausto. So, Fausto, if I could ask you to read a section of text that you wrote for your duo performance with Jolanda Jansen. You wrote a piece of text for Jolanda following that performance.
Allora, okay. Performance is my social life. Performance is my critical life. Performance is my rational life. Performance is my personal life. Performance is my relational life. Performance is my emotional life. Performance is my contemplative life. Performance is my creative life. Performance is my private life. Performance is my oniric life. Performance is my sexual life. Performance is my public life. Performance is my erotic life. Performance is my life, and my life is political.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Fausto. So, Fausto, you've been practicing performance art for quite a long time. Could you maybe tell me a little bit about your practice and what inspired you to get involved in performance?
Well, my art in general is focused, I mean, on the everyday life, no? Because I think this is important. It's important because generally we don't give enough importance to this. But in the other hand, we can learn a lot of about what we do, what we say, what we think, the relation with the other people in the context, political, social, emotional, psychological, you know, and vice versa. Because if we give attention to all of this, we can get possibility to have more choice to grow as a human being, as person in a society. Well, for example, a relationship between me and another person is already a social, relationship. Is a community in some way, no?
Yes.
And this is what I do.
That's great, Fausto. Excuse me. That's wonderful. The other thing I just wanted to ask you, Fausto, in relation to your process as an artist, is do you ever sketch out your ideas to formulate them? Or are you formulating your ideas in your mind and then bringing them into fruition?
For example, in some case, like this, the West is the best. I had the idea in my head, and then I make this idea reality, no? But I didn't know where the performance were realized. But, the situation, was important. In this yurta, I come out from the yurta, I take off the hat, I take off and then, so they are a performance that I built previously, but then I understand because sometimes I had to change. I had an idea, and when I arrived in the place, in the situation, I had to recognize that no, do what I was told was not right. So I had to change everything. And sometimes, like for example, last year in August in Blur Art Exchange in Thailand, the first performance, I knew what I want to do, and I did. I asked material previously. I had the material, and then everything in my mind, and it was okay. Then the light there. About the light was something I decided at last time was okay. But the other performance were, come si dice, I would say, improvisation. Because we used to go to the place. This is the place. This is the situation. And on this situation, in this place, you have to think what to do. So, and okay, it's improvisation. But like improvisation is something very volatile, no? Very improvisation is an art in itself because you have to manage, yourself and the situation. So the improvisation, even when you do a performance that you told very in the detail, when you perform, will be not the same than how you told in the beginning. No, there are small particular that you have to resolve at moment in the moment specific moment and situation. Because the people, because the space, because the light, because the floor, because many things.
Yeah, you're 100% because you're using intuitive action, even with something that you have completely built a framework around. Intuitive action, is very important to me also. So this is beyond improvisation. This is intuitive response.
Yes.
I was talking to you about bringing a process which could be a studio process normally when you're anodizing, but then you transformed this completely into a performative process by introducing this element of sound, creating it in a public space. Had you been doing this process for a long time previously in the studio, and then it became like a natural progression that you would incorporate it within your performance practice?
Well, first of all, I have to say that I start, and I knew the titanium, I start to work with him in London in 1980, the beginning, in a jewelry workshop with Inner London Education. I don't know if the system they're still existing. And because I was working, and in the afternoon, I used to go to jewelry workshop. I go there. I think the first was with Susan Mai, a designer, and titanium. What is this? For me, titanium was not jewelry. Jewelry was, for me, I don't know, gold, silver, stones, no, the classical. And then I start to work with, and I find it was very interesting. And then I went also at the same time in another workshop with Dennis Ussey. I don't know if it's a good pronunciation. And I started to do, my investigation. But were small things because it was jewelry. And when I come to Bilbao, I start to try to do bigger. Also, un'aneddota. I had the possibility to work with Guggenheim's titanium, because when was building, some titanium was not used because it was less, I don't know how we say. So I keep for me, and I can make big things, and I start to make like a postcard and send to friend. Also, I send to open call, my art open call, and then okay. And one day I were in Valencia in a meeting of artist and organizer, curator. Of course, I was a just artist. I am no curator. No, And in this time, there were something on the air, and like 2001 art strike, from ¿cómo se llama? Mayor Smile. I mean, I remember the name. Oh, and he's a very good friend of mine. Now I don't remember the name. He's dead also. He's passed away. Ah, my God. Okay, maybe. And my idea was this: bring a very big sheet of titanium, and to write on it 2001 art strike. Pere Sousa, I remember the name, was the one who in Spain did this call, the art strike, and he was there. Fausto Italian. Okay. And then one artist, a woman from Galicia, I think, they said to me, Fausto, but if you do this with song, maybe it's better, it's more powerful. There is music from Germany, for example, this ¿cómo se llama? Industrial, and all this music, electronic, I don't know how to say. And good idea. Mm-hmm. But then I thought to myself, why I able to use a sound out the titanium? No, maybe with something we can translate. I mean, the ionization, the process, the electricity, and sound. And I talked to a person, and he said, I don't know, because maybe you can get sound, but it's sound with which we can't hear. Anyway, I will try, he said. And one day, I had the sound that now I don't have it because this circuit is broken, and I don't find the way to establish the function. I mean, because this guy now is another. I have to find again who can do this for me, because it's very interesting. After this family portrait, they invite me in a festival of electronic music. And I went there with titanium. And incredible with I have the video. Electronico Aldia in San Sebastian, in Eguia, San Sebastian. Electronico Aldia.
That's wonderful, Fausto. That's great.
It is one.
That's wonderful. So, Fausto, thank you very much for being part of Three Works for this performance interaction project. And I'd like to close it there and thank you again.
Thank you to you, Sandra, to trust me with this very bad English, but I try all my best. And the audience to keep on and stay until the end.
Fantastic.
Stay with us and follow this interview, which for me is very interesting. Your question and what we were talking about. Thank you very much to you.
Thank you very much, Fausto.
Everybody.
Thank you.